All right, so let's get started. We're going to begin with a very simple, quick video on the web and HTTP. It really does not matter if you understand this stuff that well, but I figured it's always best to give you some context for the stuff that we're going to learn. All right, so the World Wide Web, or just the web, right, we're hopefully familiar with, is this incredible information system where we can get documents via the internet. So the internet is the whole system of connected computers all over the world. The web is everything that I do in a web browser, every page that I visit. Google, Reddit, Facebook, whatever, Instagram, probably mostly Reddit for me personally. This is GitHub's web page, their marketing page. I think it's a nice landing page. This is all the web. These are all just documents that I am loading. And the way that they work is that they're available over something called HTTP, which you probably have seen before if for no other reason than putting it in a URL, right? http://www.reddit.com. So HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. And in a very short sentence, here's what it is. It is a protocol, a formally defined set of rules that says, here is how we communicate between one computer and another computer, specifically what we call a client and a server. The client is whoever is requesting a page. The server is whoever is responding with a page. And again, that's all you need to know about HTTP in this course. Now, if you want to continue with full stack web development or, learn Node or building APIs, there's more to learn about HTTP. But as far as being a consumer of web pages and a builder of HTML and CSS, you really just need to know that it exists. It's this set of rules that says here is how it works to communicate between a client and a server. So when I go to my web browser and I type in http://www.reddit.com, although you really don't have to type that most of the time, right? I can just type reddit.com. Most of the time my browser figures out what I want. But technically it's going to turn it into http www.reddit.com. If I just do www.reddit.com, I hit enter. If I actually look at the URL that it typed out for me, I'll zoom in. And post-production, it's HTTP, technically S, which means HTTP secure. Either way, it's still HTTP. It put it in there for me. Anyway, when I type that into my browser, I'm basically saying, hey, I want the page at this location. This is a particular resource. And through the magic of the internet, HTTP, TCP, IP, all these different protocols, again, doesn't matter how it works really, it's going to make it, hopefully, to Reddit servers. And hopefully Reddit says, I know that document. Here it is. Let me make it for you and send it back your way. And then my browser will get that page and render it for me, display it for me. So that's all happening, right? Every time I click a link, every time, let's go back to GitHub here. If I click under GitHub sponsors, whatever this page is, that is going to request a new document, a new page. And GitHub knows what I'm talking about, and it returns it back to me so my browser can display it. But of course, I could try and go to a page that GitHub does not know about, like this page, if I hit enter here, and it's going to send me back something else, right? It says, well, we got your request. I don't know what you asked for. We don't have that resource. So it sends me back a 404 or a web page not found document. Anyway, that's the basic workflow of everything we do on the web. Whether we click a link, submit a form, type a URL into a bar here, we're making these HTTP requests all the time. I just made another one. All of these are different pages, right, that are being loaded. And the next thing you need to know about how this works is that when a server responds back with a web page, what it's actually sending back is the instructions. It's just code that my browser then turns into a nice, beautiful page. So in all of my courses on front-end stuff, I like to use this analogy. If you have ever bought furniture at IKEA, you don't come home with furniture. You come home with the pieces, and then you have to actually construct the actual furniture at home. I happen to love doing that. It's a very fun job. I wish I could do that full-time, constructing IKEA furniture. But that's a very similar process to what happens with the web page. When I send this request, I'll just refresh the page here. My request makes it to GitHub servers, assuming there's no problem with my internet or their servers. Then that server constructs a web page for me and it sends it back. But again, it's just sending me code. And the form that code takes is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So the web pages that my browser shows me are built out of these three things. Technically, they don't all have to be there. It could just be HTML, or just HTML and CSS with no JavaScript, but modern web pages consist of all three. Now, this is a course on HTML and CSS. We have a tiny bit of JavaScript thrown in, but it's all about CSS really, aside from the beginning here where we cover some HTML. But JavaScript plays an important role. We'll cover that. I'm going to talk about that role in a separate video. But these three technologies make up a typical HTTP response. And I can see the content of every web page, the actual source code. If I'm using Chrome, you can use any browser really, but in Chrome I can right click on a web page and go to View Page Source. And this is the underlying code. This is all HTML, everything you see here, that builds this web page when my browser renders it for me. So that's the job of the browser, to take this and turn it into this. And if I look closely, this is HTML syntax. We're going to cover some of this. So if you're completely new to HTML, that's okay. But then up top, way up top, there's a lot of scrolling here. We're going to see a lot of things that end in .js. So those are JavaScript files. I can click on one of them. This is a JavaScript file. And then we're also going to see CSS in here somewhere. I'll see if I can find it. Here we go. A lot of CSS at the top here. So these are all CSS files. They've been compressed so that there's no white space so that they load faster. But this is all CSS. This is the kind of stuff we're going to learn in this course. So the point here is that a web page is built with these three technologies, at least a modern web page. But when we get it, when our browser gets it, it's just code. And the job of the browser is to take that and turn it into a full web page. Right? Take a bunch of code in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and render it for humans. And one last thing that I'll show you here is we can make a request with other tools other than a web browser. Most people wouldn't do this unless you're a developer, but here's an app called Postman. You do not need to download this. It allows me to make a request to a web page. So I can send this request to github.com. And it shows me the source that I get back. It shows me information about the HTTP request, stuff you don't have to care about. We use this as developers to test different websites and APIs and make sure things are working. But this is not a browser. This is just making requests for me and then showing me the source code we get back. A browser does the same thing, but then it turns the code into a page that looks good for us, that we can actually interact with without having to look at awful code. Okay, so in the next video, we'll talk more about the specific technologies and what their roles are.